Hello everybody, this is Zephyr with your Child Track support team, and in this video I'm going to show you the new way to add trainings to parents within the Child Track system. So with our new revamped training, if we go to Homes, Training, and then Training Home here, you'll get this new training homepage with a bunch of options on the left hand side. Now if we want to add a training to a parent, it's really simple. There's actually a couple ways we can do this. We can enter training attendance if we already know what the training is. Once we click on this page, you'll have the option for a click here to enter attendance for scheduled training or attendance for an unscheduled training. So if we know of a scheduled training, if we know a start date and end date and a title for it, we can do it that way. If you start typing anything in the title, let's say if I type C, anything with the letter C in it will come up and it'll have the exact name of those types of trainings. So if I clicked on CPR, I don't necessarily have to enter a start and end date unless you know the range. I can just click Find Training and it will pull up all the CPR trainings, as you can see right here. So if I were to add attendance this way, all I would do is click the Edit Attendance button. And in here I can see the training details, the date of the training, when it expires, when it starts and ends, so it's from 3 to 6, it's 3 hours of training, if it's mandatory, the title, where the location is, the type, and the trainer. From here I can click this print sign-in sheet, which will pull this sign-in sheet right here. Now if you have scheduled other people to be in this training, their names will appear here, and I'll show you that in 1 second. Right here in this tab you'll see the attendance, and this is where I can add more parents. As you can see, we already have Clark Kinnenberger right here. If I wanted to add more attendance, I can go add attendance by name, and all we have to do is start searching by the last name of the parent. So if I type BRAV, you'll see Adam Braverman come up here. Let's say I just type the letter B. It'll start pulling all the B last name parents here. As you can see, it'll have in parentheses a P, letting you know they're a parent. Another parenthesis is the branch that they're in, and then finally it's their address. That way, if you have a parent with the same exact name as another parent, you can narrow it down very quickly in this list. So I'm going to click on Braverman here, and all the information starts coming up, who it's reimbursed by, how this reimbursement period is set within license period. All the information that's set at a branch level is right here. So for the save this for Adam here, all I do is look at the information here. If he only was there at 4 o'clock and didn't arrive till 4 instead of 6, I can credit that here. I can change the time that he arrived to give him the proper credit for what he was actually there for. For this instance, I'll do 4 and say that arrived 1 hour late. So I'll click the Save Attendance button. Now if I look at the Attendance tab right here, you'll see that Adam has been added. I'll show this training he has 2 hours reimbursed. He was there from 4 to 6, and the notes say he arrived an hour late. Now if you had this information incorrect, you can easily just click this Edit Attendance button here and update it as needed. So as you can see now, if I go to this print sign-in sheet here, the sign-in sheet now pulls Adam's name, and then he can sign here. If their email is added at the parent level and their state ID, this will automatically pull as well. And then we can have the start and end time this way as well. It also includes a box for out-of-agency sign-ins, so anybody out of the agency that needs to sign in can sign in here. Once you sign that, you can upload that document right back here, so you have an uploaded sign-in sheet directly related with the training that anyone can have access to and print out as needed. Now you also have the option, instead of adding attendance by name, you can add it by using a list. You can search for a foster parent by clicking a letter, which is similar how it used to be. As you can see, as soon as I clicked the C, there was 2 parents that came up, and I can add them this way. Most likely the easiest way that you'll be able to do this is adding by name. That narrows it down a little further for you. So what we can also see here, under the attendance option, and you can see Adam and Clark here, there's an option to print a certificate. So if I click on this print certificate, any parent that attended this training, you can print a certificate stating that they completed this training for them to have. You can also add your logo, your company logo to this certificate. We would just need to be provided that logo. Unless it's already active in your system, it will automatically appear on this certificate that you print out. So that's one way to add training with our new system. Now if I wanted to do an unscheduled training, if I click on this option here, I can start a training that was not formally scheduled, one that just kind of happened. I can enter all the information here, and I'll just go 3/29/2017. We'll say this expires on 4/30/2017. Location. Trainer, we'll add me as the trainer for this one. Then we can just add the time. I'll show you the hours credited. If you can add the medically fragile or the mandatory checkboxes there. When I save this training, it will automatically show me that I'm editing the attendance for this training. I can change the details, and again, same way I can add attendance by name, etc. Now if I go back to the training homepage here, so that was entering the training attendance. There's also the option to find a training. So if you're looking for a specific training, you'll have options where you can show the list, show map, and show calendar, and then you have all these filtering options up here. If I were just to click show list, it will show me all the trainings that are currently active. Now I can start narrowing this down, and again, if I start typing letters, it will automatically pull up any of the trainings with that name. If I start typing a location, let's say this, again, typing a letter will automatically pull any name that's already added to the system. I can even pull locations based off zip codes, and then I can narrow it down by branches as well. Now, the new or one of the newer options we have here, and let me remove all this information here, is the show map option. Now, if I click show map and I don't have a zip code or miles option in the filter, it won't pull anything and will give you that message. So if I were to say 200 miles from 45344 and then click show map, it will pull a map, and then it will start pulling all the training locations and map locations on an active map that you can see here. So if I click this classes option, it'll show me, and now if we had different addresses that weren't in the same spot, as you can see they're kind of stacked on each other here. But if we had multiple locations farther apart, you would have an A and B marker showing you exactly where those training locations are. Within letter A, these are the trainings that are offered at that location. Within letter B, these are the trainings located at that. And then there's C, and I'll show you all those trainings as well. We also have the option for show calendar. Now I'm actually going to have to go back a little bit because we don't have any scheduled trainings for that time frame. But any scheduled trainings would show up on this calendar that you can look at and see in a calendar view all the trainings coming up at that time. And again, all you have to do is click on it, and then you can just have a nice little calendar that you can easily print out by hitting Control P. And then printing to your printer, and then you'll have this calendar with all the upcoming trainings and what days they're on. So again, if I go to Show List and then I click Edit, I can add attendance to the training. I can look at the history of this training. The history will show me any time that this training has been changed, if the hours have changed, if the name of it has changed, if the location's changed. At any time I can see that information here. If I click Attendance, that's where again we go back to this page where we can add the attendance to the training. Now when I return to Previous here, I'm going to go back to Show List. There's also an option to copy. So if you've made a training and it's going to be something that happens in another branch or location, if I click Copy, I can automatically copy this same exact training with all the same information right away, and then I can click Save and Edit. And let me actually put a date in. And if I click Save and Edit, I can edit all the information here, which I can add a different location, change the notes, all that kind of good stuff, and then save it. So now that I did add training for a few parents, if we actually go to one of those parents just to see how it looks now. So I'm going to go to Mr. Braverman here. Now we have this training list option. Now this training list will show all the trainings that this parent has had. Now with the new system, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a difference. So here, all these trainings were how the old system was done. We have all those records saved the old way, that way you can still see all the old information. The new trainings, as you can see up here, are a little different. You'll see the option for trainer, the location, I've also been added. Now I can edit the attendance here to say like, oh, this isn't the right time they were there. And as you can see, the edit attendance buttons will be a little different between the old trainings, which is this one, and the new training here. As you can see, this is the one we entered earlier. I can also print the certificate from here as well, and I can also look at the history of this being saved. So if someone were to edit this and change the time they were there, I could see who edited it, when they edited it, and why they edited it. And as an example, let's actually change this. We'll say that we got rid of this information, and then we can click on history. And as you can see, the newest one that I did, I changed the start and end to 3 to 6, different from the 4 to 6, and I removed the notes. So what I can also do is I can actually report on this. So if I hit Report All, this will report all of the trainings that this parent has had. And as you can see, there's now training periods for the training period of 5/12 to 5/11, and now these are all defined at the branch level. So you guys can have 2-year training periods. If it's a year, 6 months, whatever you want, we can set this up at the branch level. We would just need to know from you guys how it works. So during this training period from 5/12/2015 to 5/11/2016, they were required to have 20 hours of training during this period. As you can see, all they had was CPR. The total was 6, and they had 6 hours credited. They had a balance of -14 as they didn't meet their total. As you can see, the old training period here, this is what they met here, and then this is the newest one. They have, you're required to have 20 hours of training during this period. You can carry over training periods from the previous year if they can make it up during the next year. That is an option that we have. As you see, that -14 was added. You have the racial sensitivity, it was a mandatory training, who the trainer was, how much was reimbursed, and how much hours. All that information will be right here in this easy report that you can print out to any of your parents. If I click on the Report Current option, it will only pull the information from the current training periods. As you can see, these two go together based off our settings in the branch level, so it'll pull this information right here on this report. Now this will conclude how to add training with our new training system on ChildTracks.